Hello guys, welcome back to the Saturday afternoon update. Generally speaking, we have some quiet weather conditions over the next week. However, winter is not over. The reason I'm saying that is because it really isn't. We've been seeing some models been saying a snowstorm. Now, I know people may be saying, "Are you kidding me, Alex? It's March." And we're running out of time. Yes, that is true. We're running out of time. However, due to the fact we're going to see another cold blast by early March after the torch we're going to get, this tells me that we have one more opportunity early to mid-March that we could see a big snowstorm. And I'm talking big. If we get that nor'easter characteristic where that low pressure starts from the south and travels up the east coast, you're guaranteed a massive snowstorm. Again, we don't know yet, but if this keeps showing up, and tendency is, if it's so quiet that it doesn't show anything really, that means that it will show up eventually into the later part of the period by like a week or two. So the thing is, I'm watching. I think we're going to be seeing a massive pattern change after the 28th. And after the 28th, I think, we definitely have a chance of seeing snow. So, let's go run the GFS model here on the 6Z. Because we see something very interesting. You know, it's not going to be conducive for snow at all until maybe the 28th. When that front comes through, maybe a couple pesky snow showers, but nonetheless, not really. But one chance I am seeing is early March. And what happens is basically you get overriding. And I know, this winter could have had a lot more potential. But due to the fact that most of these storms were so progressive and so fast moving from west to east, we never saw them really materialize across the East Coast, and that's why you're left with a little bit of a snow drought. New York City only picked up half a foot, and we're supposed to annually get around 18 to 24 inches, so we're at least a foot below average. That's some big-time snow deficit. However, we could make some of that up. We definitely could make some of that up, because we're going to get some overrunning events. And by the 5th, you may start to see a signal of snow. And I don't know for a fact, but we could definitely see something happen like that. It's not that rare for it to be like that in March. Again, and then watch this. After that cold air moves through, look at this monster trying to wrap up in the Central Plains. You got some pretty steady rain and severe weather. Now, we got the cold air as well. The very cold high up in Canada, 1,034. That is polar Arctic air. Now, watch what happens. This gets into the environment of the cold air. The cold air slashes into the system. What happens? You get dynamic cooling that happens, and you get very heavy snow across Ohio, Pennsylvania, and getting into New Jersey. And it may initially start as some rain in New Jersey and the East Coast a little bit. But as that polar Arctic air goes through, you know how cold it gets? Bam! Right there, you have a nor'easter. And this is not rare. For March standards, it is not rare. There is some years where March is awfully quiet or rainy. And there's some years when March is a serious wild month. A wild card here. And I think this year could be it. March could definitely be a wild card. And I think March could be very snowy potentially. Or the opposite. March could be very inactive. Either one of these two situations will happen. Obviously, we want the very snowy side, because we need to make up our snow drought. Will we make it up? That is a good question, because we're running out of time. And early to mid-month, we definitely have a winter storm signal somewhere in there. But taking a look at the GFS model, this completely bombs out to a massive cyclone up in New England. Very blinding blizzard snow across New Jersey, Rhode Island, Boston, all the I-95 corridor up into the Northeast. This exits out, very windy conditions, and that's pretty much it. And you see that's a very cold pattern. We even get some snow on the backside, but again, what happens? The warm air quickly advects northward, and that's the problem. March is going to be generally warmer. That's the only problem, because our average highs should be averaging around 40, and that is not good. You really need 10 to 20 degrees below average solidly to get something like that to happen. And we need it for it to perfectly align. It's not rare. It's not rare. I will tell you that. It is not rare. It's just February was a lot easier to get that. But March is going to be a little bit more difficult. However, I do see a chance. If we were to look at the Northeast here a little closer, I know this is a long range of video, but there's really nothing to talk about this week. So if we were to take a long range outlook here, some very heavy snow, bombing out. Wow, this is some very crazy snow trying to fall down. But again, you have that mixing issue right along the coast. Even up into our area, we have mixing issues. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a huge problem in March. There's going to be a lot of mixing events, and I don't like the look of that. However, it is going to be a colder pattern, I think. And that's the potential where I see snow. Comparing to the European ain't showing that much. It does show a little bit of a clipper, but that's mainly just rain. But we try to see something here right around the 4th, which is where the GFS wants to put something out there. And you can see that there could be a severe weather event in Oklahoma and Texas, and then heavy snow up north. And I mean, it's a pretty bad severe weather event down south. But it's another one of these events where there could be snow in the Northeast. And oh my God, that looks scary. Look at that negative tilted trough. And a squall line sweeping all across Florida and the South Carolinas. Maybe even to New Jersey. That's a scary setup. But yeah, you can definitely tell that March will be a nor'easter month. It will be a nor'easter month. Whether you get severe weather or snow, it will be very active. It's just we gotta get through end of February with this torch, and we will see what happens. Honestly, there's not much else to talk about. But I will tell you this. February was awfully cold, so we gotta end with a torch. And what will happen is the atmosphere has to balance out. The purpose of meteorology is for all the atmosphere to balance out into equilibrium. And yeah, so you didn't have snow in February. So if you have equilibrium, it will come back. And what I'm thinking is March could be a very, very snowy month. It could be, because theoretically, you need equilibrium. So you need the cold and the snow. So we have to see what happens. But I think March could be the potentially most snowiest month in years. So it's not impossible. It is not impossible. So, I mean, with that, I think that'll be it for today. But I'm going to say one thing. If you think winter's over, don't let your hopes down yet. I know this winter may have been a little bit disappointing, and we only got a few minor snow events, not even above a half a foot. That's crazy. But I'm telling you guys right now, this could change. This could definitely change. And I'm warning that there could be one snowstorm that does everything for the season. One snowstorm could make the difference between a half a foot to almost 2 feet of snow. So you know that one snowstorm could break everything. And the winter could still be near average. That's what I'm watching out for, because it's been very, very quiet and not snowy at all. For the northern tier of the US, southern New England, southern US and Florida got more snow than us. That's just insane. Absolute insane. And I think eventually by the March time frame, I think we will make it up. I think the South will finally get that ridge that we all wanted. And I think what will happen, the Southeast, all the way up to the Carolinas will get that ridge. And all we need is a storm system to line up with the cold air. And if that ridge stays in place, it will freaking push that low pressure finally up the East Coast. And finally, if the cold air aligns, major nor'easter, major bomb cyclone. These are the things we were talking about all year. Man, we are struggling with teleconnections every single time. Literally every single system we've been this year, we have had no nor'easters. Okay, that one wind event that we had, okay, that was major. That was probably the most historic in 5 years in New Jersey. But otherwise, we have had a lackluster of nor'easters. We should be getting like 5 or 6 in the winter season. We've seen nada, zero, nada. So what I'm saying is, if we get that ridge to develop in the Southeast, and we get that cold air to line up, and the low pressure rides along the East Coast, man, we could really be talking about something. But this winter has been so crappy because it's been such a, flat jet stream with west to east snowstorm tracks, not even a little bit up north. So what I'm trying to say here is winter could change, or it may not, or it may just stay as a flat jet stream. But I think we run a chance when we do see that ridge in the Southeast and that cold air bottle up in the north trying to dip down south. I really do think there will be a couple chances for major snow. One around the 4th and one around the mid-month of March. So I'll end it there, but really just keep your eye on the weather pattern early March, because I do have a snowstorm signal. I do have a winter storm signal. So I'll see you guys later, and we'll be investigating this pattern a little bit more after this week, because this week it's just going to be awfully dry, and next week's going to be awfully dry. So we're going to be taking a look at the pattern a little bit more. So that's all for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.